In today's video, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to improve your credit score ASAP. Hi, my name is Adrian, and this is my channel, Always Talk Money. I like to talk money as it relates to everyday life, and with that being said, let's get into the video. The first tip to improve your credit score is to get credit for your utility bills. Listen, we're all paying light, water, gas, and even rent every single month, but we don't get credit for it for some strange reason. That's starting to change, and there's a website called rentreporters.com, and on that website, some participating apartment complexes you have to check individually, but they will give you credit on your credit report to the 3 major credit bureaus in order to increase your score as quickly as possible. So if you're already paying utilities and the utilities are in your name, and if you have them in good standing, go to that website, see if your apartment complex, housing scheme, or wherever you live participates in that program. Also, you can search on Google and find companies that will participate in reporting your credit in terms of utilities, phone bill, and so on and so forth, and see which companies are willing to report your on-time payments to the credit bureaus in order to improve your credit score. The second tip in order to improve your credit score ASAP is to get a secured credit card. Now, what is a secured credit card? A secured credit card is a credit card that you get by putting down a deposit. Usually it starts at around $300, but when you put down that deposit with that particular credit card company, what they will do is they will give you a credit card in exchange for that deposit, and that credit card will have the credit limit up to that deposit. So if you give them $300, they will give you a credit card with a $300 limit. Now, what's the benefit of this? Well, you have the power of a credit card, because obviously if your credit is bad, you might not be eligible to get a credit card. Then how are you going to improve your credit? You can't. So with a secured credit card, that eliminates that problem. You put down the deposit, then you get a credit card, and all you have to do is use your utilization, keep it very, very low, pay it off every single month. And the good thing about this is that deposit that you gave to that credit card company, whichever one it may be, usually after a period of 6 months or 1 year of continually paying your credit card on time, of keeping your utilization low, or any other type of negative impacts, they will actually give you back that deposit. So now you still have the credit card, you're able to improve your credit score, but you got your deposit back. And not only that, you are still eligible for them to increase your credit limit without you having to deposit any more money. So getting a secured credit card is one of the quickest ways you can start to improve your credit score. Guys, if you're liking this video so far and it's giving you value, please give me a like, please and thank you, and subscribe if you want to get more tips and tricks and useful information on personal finance like this. Now let's continue with the video. The third tip I can give is to simply get a credit limit increase. Now, you might want to increase your credit score, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're trying to improve it from a bad place. Maybe you want to go from the high 6s, low 700s to the 800s. And if that's the case, you can simply call your existing credit card companies and ask them for a credit limit increase. Now, what does this do? This will automatically lower your utilization score. If you want to improve your credit on a month-to-month basis, a good utilization is 30% or less. A lot of credit card companies will tell you, listen, as long as you use your credit and paid off at the end of the month, you're good to go. But what they don't tell you is if your utilization typically passes north of 30%, that actually does not help your score. That actually may bring you down a few points, even if you paid off at the end of the month, because to them, the credit bureaus, they're looking at it and they're saying, wow, you're using 90% utilization. You're using 95% utilization. And that's not good in their eyes. So if you want to improve your score and you're finding that you're going to the end of your credit limit every single month, what you need to do is ask for a credit limit increase. That way your utilization will automatically come down, and that can give you a credit score increase. The next tip I can give you to increase your credit score ASAP is to become an authorized user. Now, this tip, you should use it very, very wisely and with someone you trust. and also with someone who trusts you as well. Because when you become an authorized user, what does that mean? It simply means that this person that you trust, you will be on their credit card as someone who can also have a card for themselves and make the same purchases that they can make. But what that does is whatever credit score increase that they get from using that card, now that automatically gets transferred to you as well. So you both are tied at the hip with this account. So you would have to ask someone like your spouse, your mom, brother, sister, a best friend, someone very close to you, because when you become an authorized user, as I said, whatever purchase that person makes automatically reflects on your credit report. So if they don't pay, if they're using too much utilization, any other type of negative impacts, that will go on your credit report as well. And the goal of this is to increase your credit score as quickly as possible. So becoming an authorized user, I would put an asterisk to that one. That is a last resort, because when you're dealing with finances and you're mingling with other people that are not your spouse, it can get very tricky, it can get very complicated, and it can strain relationships. So use that tip with a bit of caution. The second to last tip that I'm going to give to help you to increase your credit score ASAP is one that people don't tend to be looking at to use all that often, and it's to simply check errors on your credit report. A lot of people do not know what is on their credit report, and they might have medical bills from 5, 6, 7 years ago. They may have equipment that they leased 2, 3 years ago. I know that personally happened to me some years ago when I was living in an apartment. I rented a washer and dryer from an appliance leasing company, and they put that on my credit report. Now, when I finished that lease and I had moved out of that apartment, years later, this thing was still on my credit report. So you want to check your credit report for errors. Now, every single year, every single person can get a free credit report from the 3 major bureaus. All you have to do is go to Google or go to the 3 major credit report websites. So that's Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. And you should be able to get a free credit report once a year without penalty. Make sure everything on there is correct. And if something is incorrect, you can dispute it and have it removed. Sometimes there are things on there that you didn't even buy, you no longer have, or sometimes you may be linked to something by someone who lives in the same house as you. There's weird things that happens with credit reports, especially when addresses are involved and there are multiple people in your home. You can accidentally get dinged for things that you have nothing to do with. So check your credit report and get things removed. That's a little known tip that a lot of people don't use, but it's an incredibly effective tool to use if you want to increase your credit score. The final tip that I'm going to give to help you to increase your credit score as soon as possible is to simply pay down your debts. I'm all for accountability, and you can open new credit accounts, or you can finagle the system, or try to move this decimal point here and there and do all this creative accounting. At the end of the day, the best way to increase your credit score is to simply pay off your debt. If your debts are low, you have a low utilization, you're not carrying a bunch of bad debt, then your credit score is going to be in good health. Now, if you have a car note and you pay it off, your credit is going to go down because you are eliminating an old credit history account. If you want to pay off debts, make sure you pay off the things that are most recent, or make sure you pay down your debts to less than 30% of utilization. So paying down your debts is a great way to quickly improve your credit score. With that being said, guys, this is the end of the video. I appreciate y'all for watching. If you've made it this far, please subscribe. Please leave a like for the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to use any of these tips, tell me down below which tip you're going to use. Tap in, comment, everything. If you want to sign up to our newsletter, check the links down below, as well as our Invest in ebook that's still on sale. Check the links down below. Everything is at alwaystalkmoney.com. Also, if you want to consult with me, alwaystalkmoney.com. That being said, new videos every Monday and Thursday. And until next time, peace.